I'm Steve Merkart. I'm one of the character artists here on EverQuest II at SOE. I guess we're talking about Lumpy today, which is one of our favoriteest dragons in the dragon lineup. Lumpy was born because Dave Brown, our lead character guy, was really wanting to see a dragon that we didn't have in the game, something low to the ground and stocky. All of our dragons are really sinewy and really cool and muscular looking and agile looking, but we kind of wanted one that might just look like a beast, something that would block a doorway. So we ended up with this concept of an ankylosaurus, kind of a dinosaur sort of dragon that you would just have to beat on because it's so tough. So we have the concept art, that went through a couple of iterations, and after that's approved, we take that into ZBrush, where we model him up as high poly as we like. And then since that's way too high poly to put in the game, we export out a lower poly mesh. So it's a little more manageable in the game. And then my other job, paint it up, get it all ready with all the textures and everything. Get that set to go, make other versions. There's a couple of different versions of him. And after I'm done and praying that somebody will make this into a plushy stuffed animal, I send it on over to Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris Myers and I'm an animator on EQ2, and I had the pleasure of animating Lumpy the dragon. And so when Steve wraps up the model, he passes it on to me, and then I'll begin with creating a skeleton for it, bind it to the mesh, and then begin creating animation controls. One of the first animations I usually do is the idle animation, and this is just of Lumpy kind of hanging out, and it's a breathing cycle. And then I'll do a couple idle breaks to give a little variety, so it's Lumpy kind of shaking it off, and maybe looking around a little bit, kind of digging in the ground. I think there's one of him scratching himself. Once his idles are done, I'll get right into some locomotions. So I'll do a flying animation and try to keep him heavy. And over here we have his nice heavy run cycle, walk, a little slow. And once the locomotions are done, I'll jump right into combat animations, and this is where Lumpy really kicks it up. I try to give him a nice variety, nice suite of attacks, so he'll have a nice roar attack, maybe a stinky dragon breath attack, a couple wing stabs, just anything to keep him active and keep him exciting for the players. Fingers are crossed that a player out there will make a plushie for Lumpy, or during fanfare somebody will come dressed as Lumpy, where everyone on the art team is very excited about that possibility. One of my favorite animations, and actually the most challenging, was this animation. It's a power attack, and it was inspired by the Curly Shuffle, and it was actually really tricky, and I had to get a lot of help from the art team, reference material, to really dial into this animation and figure it out. And that's Lumpy the dragon. Hope you guys enjoy seeing a little behind the scenes on the process of making him, and hopefully we'll see him in game soon.
Sony.